After bloody campaigns in the Balkans, Alexander had put out all the flames of rebellion. Thebes, the symbol of resistance, was reduced to ashes. It was a dire warning to all of Greece. Power had been consolidated, but at the cost of unity in iron and blood. Now, the goal set by his father, Philip II, had come to fruition. The invasion of the Persian Empire, Greece's eternal rival. Alexander would lead his army across the Hellespont, the gateway to Asia. In 334 BC, Alexander began his campaign. Tens of thousands of Macedonian and Greek soldiers, battle-hardened from the Balkans, were ready to embark on an unprecedented expedition. A believer in fate, Alexander visited the tomb of Achilles, the hero he had worshipped since childhood, prayed for courage and an extraordinary life, even if it meant death.
Of the Persian Empire.
As soon as he set foot on Asia, he ceremoniously threw his spears into the ground, declaring it a land of conquest by war, a clear statement of imperial ambition.
I see something ahead.
Each day,
What is it?
the camp was
Possible
set up as a
enemy
mobile
signs.
fortress
Mark
where
it.
discipline was maintained, even during brief periods of rest.
It's good to
News
rest.
came that the Persians
We've
had
marched
assembled
far
near the
today.
Granicus
Aye,
River. The
but we
first
must
battle
remain
would be the
vigilant.
decisive test of the campaign.
Young Macedonian.
Memnon of Rhodes, a Greek mercenary
What could he
serving
possibly
Persia,
do against the
advised
might of the
scorched earth
Achaemenid
tactics
Empire?
to starve and weaken the Macedonians.
We must burn
But the
fields,
arrogant Persian
destroy
satraps
the wells,
rejected them, believing that the
deprive them
riverside
of all
defensive position would
sustenance.
be enough to crush their opponents with superior
We shall
cavalry.
crush Alexander.
As Alexander
and the
advanced
Granicus.
into Asia Minor, the satraps still did not
audacity
believe
will
that a
be
young
his
king would dare
undoing.
to confront the mighty Achaemenid Empire. Memnon continued to warn them, but their pride blinded them. Not missing the opportunity, Alexander led his army across the Granicus in difficult conditions before the enemy had time to prepare their defenses. This was a wide river
We must
with
strike
fast-flowing
now,
water and
Armenian.
steep, muddy banks, a great
There.
natural obstacle.
Their numbers are vast.
On the other side
us
of the
wait for
river, the
reinforcements.
Persian army was in line, cavalry close to the bank,
Attack!
Greek mercenary infantry behind. Alexander decided to attack immediately, not giving the enemy time to consolidate their formation. A bold and risky decision. The battle broke out fiercely in the middle of the blood-red river. Screams and the sound of metal clashing echoed throughout the valley. The Macedonian phalanx, despite difficulties, still held their formation, their sarissa spears piercing the enemy armor and shields. The companion cavalry, the most elite force, circled around the flank, looking for a weak point. The Persian army was surprised when Alexander crossed the river so quickly without hesitation. Their faces showed horror
Attack!
when they realized
Get 'em!
their fatal mistake. A fierce melee ensued. Each strike was life and death. A group of elite Persian cavalry rushed in to surround Alexander, trying to kill him. A fatal blow was delivered, but thanks to reflexes and reinforcements, he escaped death. Fate was on his side. Finally, the Persian army broke and fled. A great victory in the first battle.
This was not only a military victory, but also a psychological victory, shattering the arrogance of those who had despised Alexander. After the battle, Alexander ordered the bodies of his enemies to be buried properly, a noble act and a message to the Greek warriors serving Persia. But the surviving mercenaries were not spared. They were enslaved or killed. A clear warning: those who betrayed their country would be punished. The victory was also a political declaration. Greece would be united under Alexander's spear. After Granicus, he headed south to Miletus, where the Persian fleet was anchored. The upcoming battle would be fought both on land and at sea. Scouts reported that 400 Persian warships were trying to approach Miletus to break the siege. Alexander acted first, dispatching 160
fleet is
warships
attempting
to
to
block the
reinforce
harbor.
Miletus.
A fierce
We must
naval
act
battle ensued,
swiftly.
and for the first time, the Macedonian navy completely defeated the Persian fleet. Soon the Macedonians surrounded Miletus from three sides. Siege engines were brought in, and the embankments were erected. The siege
Neutral
began.
port.
The Greek mercenaries in the
accept no
city put up
compromise.
fierce resistance,
Attack.
especially at the watchtowers. But after several weeks, the walls began to collapse. The city was overrun by Macedonian infantry and cavalry. A bloodbath ensued. However, Alexander showed himself to be a visionary
Secure the
leader.
prisoners.
He forbade pillaging
Extinguish
and rape
those
and
flames.
spared many enemy
Miletus
soldiers
is ours.
to show the Asians that he was a just king, not a barbaric invader. This was the first step in his strategy to liberate Asia. To storm the city, the vast moat had to be
We
neutralized.
must identify the
Alexander
weakest
had the
points in
moat
their
filled in,
defenses.
an arduous
The terrain
task
here
that took
offers us
days
a
and
distinct
required
advantage.
thousands of men to work continuously under close supervision. At the same time, engineers built siege towers 50 meters high, taller than the walls, equipped with catapults and battalists. Every detail was meticulously calculated to ensure maximum effectiveness. The Tyrians did not give up, counterattacking fiercely from the high walls, raining arrows, javelins, and rocks down on our troops, causing many casualties. They also used so-called fire ships, boats filled with flammable materials, to set fire to the siege towers, burning them in a sea of fire. A clever and unexpected tactic, causing our troops to suffer large losses. Once they had built up enough forces, Alexander completely blockaded Halicarnassus by sea, cutting off all reinforcements and escape routes. The siege became a total war on both land and sea, a perfect squeeze tactic. After 7 months, the dike was completed and naval superiority was established. Alexander deployed siege engines from both ships and dikes, attacking the city from multiple sides, a final blow that left no chance for the enemy to fight back. Knowing that the city could not be held, Memnon, the talented general, decided to retreat by sea and burn the city. A heartbreaking but wise decision. He saved most of his men. Alexander entered the burning Halicarnassus. Victory was achieved, but at the cost of a ruined city. However, he did not forget his political goals. To win the hearts of his people, he restored Ada, the former queen of Caria, to the throne, who later adopted him. In this way, he secured the loyalty of the land, cementing his image as a liberator, not just a conqueror. This strategy of governance was clever and subtle, combining military strength with cultural harmony. With 3 victories at Granicus, Miletus, and Halicarnassus, Alexander built a solid foothold in Asia Minor. The door to Asia has opened, but a mighty empire waits. The confrontation with Darius the Great has only just begun.